Well, if you're not doing stuff, you're not making no money. And that's how it's going to be in 2018. Hello, people. We're Inside for Nerds. And I'm the Nightwing, and this is lovely colleague JTH. Ka-cha!
You gotta do something at the beginning, don't you?
Have to. I'm going to attract the viewers.
That's how
so
you're gonna do it.
We got some EU news. LCE rebranded. They're like, we don't want to be anywhere associated with the best region in League of North America. The promised land where we breed talent and we have the money to make Korean players' dreams die. But that's how life goes. So, Rogue is looking to be like Rocat for 2019.
I'm so excited for them, honestly.
Really?
No.
You said they were bad yesterday.
They are bad.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for them because they picked up
They picked up the best top laner in Profit.
No, they picked up Kikis, and I feel like he should have had a team.
What? I don't know why they didn't just keep him on Vitality.
I don't know why Vitality didn't. But what I'm saying is,
one bad appearance at Worlds made them like.
Well, he looked so sad at Worlds. But
he looked essentially lost.
I'm happy that he got a team because I feel like if he hadn't got picked up, he probably wouldn't have. They probably would have just taken chances on
probably someone else.
Yeah, but he looked solid for like essentially the entire split. He brought Vitality back from wins.
When they had Gilius and they said they weren't having like really good issues on the team. Man, that was bad for them. They were in like 5th place too. He brought him to like 2nd. He got him a playoff bye. Why kick him after just one bad Worlds?
I don't know if they kicked him more so as he got offered more money at Rogue Warriors.
But I mean, he does this like all the time. He always leaves his team.
He does. He's looking for more places to replace Gilius at. He's trying to take more of Gilius' spots.
But we know Gilius is a god.
Yeah.
True.
He is.
Their top laner, okay, so they have the best lineup on paper. They don't have a mid laner yet, so it's obviously going to be something.
Best lineup on paper.
All right, they got Profit, who's easily best top laner in Europe.
Don't say that.
And then you have Kikis, who is arguably the best jungler. And then you have arguably the best ADC in the world is HQ.
Like, I just don't understand.
And then,
what's up?
The best support ever, Wadid.
I just don't why you went out. You're making your team, and I think that when I heard that they were getting what's it called? When I heard they were getting Gilius, I'm not Gilius. I always mix them up now.
Because it's God. God reference him.
When I heard they were getting Kikis, I was like, wow, this might actually be a decent roster. But like, why do you like Gilius himself isn't insanely good. Like he's just extremely like you put him in the jungle. You put him in the jungle position and you're fine. He can pretty much function with any team you put around him. And unless the team is HQ and Wadid and
Profit.
Stupid Profit.
I think Profit is a little bit more underrated. He does make some. He is really. I think he's actually pretty decent.
He is not worth an import slot.
But if you're talking about import slot, definitely.
I don't even think he's that good. Like I just feel like he was like they got him on. I mean, from Korea because he was on SKT, and they're like he must be good.
He helped beat KT Roster in that first telecom war they had like in 2017.
Yeah, he looked fine in SKT as a backup support. I mean, AD.
That's because he had someone to help him.
But the thing about it is, he was never the starter on SKT. Really, like he played a bit in the spring split. Huni was the starter essentially the entire split.
Yeah, he played like a few games. That was
it. Huni looked insanely good. He looked really good throughout the entire split, and we really never got to see much of Profit, which is why I was confused why they just imported him. You got to see him. You got to see him a bit, but you never got to fully see what he was capable of.
And the reason why it's still Rocat is because it's Freddy 112.
I don't understand why they're picking him up, to be honest. Like he wasn't a good coach.
People have to understand something about Rocat. Yes, they had the former Rocat, now Rogue. That has always been an interesting team. They looked decent when they first came into the EULCS. They were always bottom tier relegation.
They've been in since 2014, and they have not had a winning record since like summer 2014, I think.
That's the Polish lineup of Vander, Jankos, and
like it's ridiculous. Like
they for like 5 splits in a row. You always saw them at relegation. 5 splits in a row. This is an org that had Steelback. Steelback was on the roster at one point. They had Betsy first. And then in 2017, it starts to turn for them. They do the whole miracle comeback and almost make playoffs with Betsy, Wadid, and Yarnin, and what's his name? Maxlore and Faxi. And then right after that, we went back to the same. They picked up Pride Stalker, who was a really hyped up EU jungler. That team fails. 2018. They're like literally the most inconsistent team ever. They never go 2-0. I'm just gonna spoil it. They never go 2-0 all year. It's pretty much 1-1 every single week. And they make playoffs in spring and they get beaten by Splice 3-0 pretty handily. and then 2018, the summer they don't make playoffs because people have evolved and gotten better because that's how it works. And then now that Rogue Cat is actually they didn't actually apply, but now it's Rogue, but it's gonna be pretty much Rogue Cat. They have HQ and Profit who were on Rogue Cat before,
and the coach.
Yeah, and coach.
I
don't really think it's Freddie's fault. You can't coach bad players.
It's not like they had good drafts, honestly. Their biggest problem... They
did always play to the player's strengths, though.
It doesn't matter if it plays to the player's strengths. I don't feel like Freddie was a good coach to pick up, because why would you pick up...
He has experience.
First of all, this is probably the mastermind behind the import of Profit, which I just don't understand. He brought in Profit, most likely.
He was on SKT, it means he has to be good.
Exactly. That made no sense.
Might as well import Tar then.
So you bring in Profit. I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to fist bump you or something? No. So they bring in Profit. They bring in all these players, and they completely fail. You have
too.
You literally have good players, and then you surround them by terrible ones, and it's just it doesn't make sense to me why you would import one of the worst
one of the more worst import.
One of the worst.
I would say most questionable importing of top.
What I'm saying is you import 3 parts of one of the worst teams of all time. Honestly, I wouldn't say the team specifically, but I would say the organization is in general.
They're taking parts of one of the worst orgs.
There's no reason to do. There's other orgs that got disbanded that really could have
taken Unicorns of Love's players.
I mean,
it's not probably got them a little bit because.
Unicorns of Love look pretty terrible too, to be fair.
In 2018, to be fair, they had one bad year though.
They did.
Consistently, Unicorns of Love were a top. At least Unicorns of Love can say we made finals. We're at least a top 4 team. They almost made it to Worlds a couple times. What did Rogue Cat do?
I'm really disappointed in this.
Here's the problem. They should have just taken. I personally thought one of the newer teams coming in should have just did what Astralis did with Origin. Origin already has a fan base. Let's just call it Origin. You could just take Unicorns of Love team, call it Unicorns of Love, give them money. You already have a fan base, so you don't have to go out and get a fan base if you already have a fan base out there. What would be the reason of trying to get new fans if there's already a fan of one team already?
I don't really care too much.
You also please people having their team back. You also get an entirely new line. You have your backers now. I just don't know why they didn't do that. But see if Kikis, HQ, people say HQ is overrated, right? Or he's underrated. Because overrated implies you're at one point you're good.
I think people are saying he's underrated because he's had a terrible team around him, and he had
If you look at his individual play, it's not even that good anyway.
It's not. It's more so people look at the stat line and say, hey, he didn't have completely terrible stats throughout the entire season, so he must be good. But in reality, I think that HQ is obviously probably the. I've never even heard people say he's underrated. I feel like for the most part, everybody says he's terrible. It's pretty. I don't see
why they didn't just give him back Norscarin.
I don't see why they didn't try and go for a rookie, man.
They should have just took Norscarin. They played there for the whole year. That would have been a bot lane that already had synergy. So instead they're going to give him Wadid. And sorry to tell you guys, Yarna and Wadid weren't that good. And against G2 they got really lucky because their other half of the team carried them. So up until Game 5. In Game 5 they were still losing in Game 5. I don't care what anybody says. They were still losing. They were.
You're saying some controversial stuff now.
Sorry.
Okay, let's be honest.
I'm saying Yarna and Wadid were not that good at Worlds. They got carried by the half part of their team.
They carried some of they forced out. Essentially, they were good on things that I think they were good on things that weren't ADCs, and they thrived on it. I think he brought the team versatility, so you had to ban out specific things. And if you didn't ban it out, you pretty much lost.
But if you're a new org, are you gonna just grab Wadid?
I think if you pick up what's it called? If you pick up the two
they should just together, Yarnan and Wadid together.
If you pick up Yarnan and Wadid, I could see that working.
With Kikis and Profit, maybe whoever their mid laner is gonna be. I think their mid laner is just gonna be Blanc.
I think Profit's gonna be a middle of the pack top laner. Their
Kikis will probably be upper tier jungler, maybe.
I really think Kikis only looks good as the team you put around him. He's not gonna look amazing with all these. You essentially put a mediocre team around him. I don't think Wadid's he's not a strong laner. He's not strong in every aspect. No, what I'm saying is in every aspect, I think that Wadid is not a strong player.
In every aspect,
he's not terrible.
Was just a better player.
He is. Norscarin was the second best. Yes, probably the second best support in Europe last split, which makes no sense to me.
It's weird. The orgs are missing out. Oh, why didn't they just get Kasing? Kasing's always been really good. I don't see why they didn't just pair him up with Heat. Oh my god.
Vander still doesn't have a team either, huh?
Vander said he's sitting out too.
Vander doesn't have. I think Kikis just signed with somebody.
Kikis signed with Rouge, as we're talking about.
I mean, just Kikis. Sorry. What was it? What? No, the support name you just said.
Norscarin.
No, the other one.
That was Norscarin.
No, we just talked about another support. I remember.
What did we talk about?
We just talked about it. My mind is
Kassing.
not. Kassing, thank you.
He signed with Excel Esports.
Yeah, like I honestly, it's not like I think that Vander is too good not to have a team, or Scarin's too good to not have a team. Yet you pick up a person who Wadid.
Probably if he doesn't have yarn in, he's not going to even be relevant.
No, I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think
he's going to be
talk trash to him, but like there's two good players who I honestly think are better than him. Inside of a situation where they're not even in like contention to have a team. Two teams? Two of the like really good. Vander is a legacy player. Like he's been amazing throughout his entire career. And what's his name? And Norscarin was probably, I think he was the second best support in the entire league.
Behind at least behind Hillsang.
I think he might have been third. I won't deny that, but I just feel like Norscarin deserves a team. Like, there's no reason for him not to have a team right now. But I just
don't see this roster doing... This is going to be, like, at least... If they make playoffs, it's only by them winning very clutch games.
I don't see them making playoffs. I think their best player is probably... It has to be
their jungler?
Yeah, it has to be Kikis.
And no, their mid laner. And for mid laner is Blanc, okay, their best jungler is going to be Kikis then.
Like, I'm just saying, I think Kikis is a good player, and I was excited for him to be on the team. I'm happy he got the team. He deserves one. He played well enough last split to have one. But all around, this looks like
the same.
It looks like 100% a bottom of the pack team.
This is the same team except a few players switched out.
I think they're gonna look pretty decent towards the beginning of the split, and by the end of it, they're gonna.
Yeah, they're the type of team that goes like 4-0, and people are like, "Why are they going 4-0?" And then the next few weeks, it's just all downhill from there.
That sounds exactly like CLG.
Gosh.
Or Rocat. The Rocat actually does well towards the middle.
They're both blue, so that means something. Does the blue have curse? Because C9 was 10th place this year. Top 4 worlds. Let's see what else we can do with life in general.
So
because Kikis got picked up by XL Esports today. What do you think about that?
I think Kikis, obviously, again, another player who's proven throughout his career that he deserves a team. I feel like, regardless of like recency issues, I feel in terms of I wouldn't import a support. If you want me to be completely honest, importing a support is kind of useless in my mind because unless you're not going to use both import slots.
This is juicy.
Yeah, unless you're going to not use both import slots, importing is probably the worst in terms of support because they're the playmaking. They can't essentially assert.
It's
lane.
better if that player's just native.
Well, essentially, supports can dominate the lane in terms of just killing ADC, but it doesn't happen as often in support. I mean,
definitely not happening that much in competitive. People
doesn't.
Like half.
Yeah, what I'm saying is
people have brains in competitive. That's why
it's hard to do it with support.
It's
what's it called?
If everybody is on the same people, because people factor in, they're all pro players, so they're all thinking the same thing you are. So this is not like in solo queue where
I wouldn't say like. I do think that you can spot a difference between a good support and a bad one. But I think that in terms of impact,
in general, like you're not
in terms of impact, unless they're on Blitzcrank or Thresh, you're gonna have less of an impact with support. So I would say import like a mid laner. Import something that you know you're not going to find a lot of in your region, which is probably not mid in EU, but yeah, like I don't see them importing a support, and I don't think taking a spot on like a chance on a rookie is better than picking up Kikis. Did I say Kikis? It's Kikis. There we go. My mind's not working right now, but yeah. So in terms of this choice, I think that's your best answer, honestly. You could have picked up Norscarin, you could have picked up Vander. I see all those being decent choices, but for the most part, I'm not upset with this.
We have new news that literally just came out right now. Bao Long, IG support, decides to leave this team. I think he's not winning another world.
Oh, of course not. Bao Long was obviously the weakest link on
this
that
dude
team.
was literally not even he made China's third All-Pro.
What I'm saying is he was the weakest point of that team, so I'm not.
And
really
if they
surprised.
what if they grab a really good support and they're like the best team again?
What really good support is free right now? Like in China,
they'll find someone.
Okay, let's think. Invictus Gaming they have no import slots, so they can't import one. It has to be somebody in.
They're probably going with the native support at this point. Wasn't Battling native anyway?
Yes.
So let's go with a native support.
They have to, but
that's the problem. Jackie Love should have an aggressive support with him. I think that's better if Jackie Love himself has an aggressive support. So So for IG, they had Coach Kim, who was previously a coach for Longju, and there was his team. He's not on IG anymore either. Baolong, I don't know what kind of crystal China meth you're smoking, but I don't know if you're gonna win another world. He's probably going on like LGD.
The thing about it is,
LGD offered him a lot of money.
I could see them offering him a lot of money. Like somebody
LGD just offers a lot of money to anybody who wins worlds.
LGD just picked up two players who I can't
remember
their names.
The news broke about that too. Kramer is now on LGD too.
Kramer is a great pickup. Kramer is absolutely one of the ADCs I thought should have been picked up again in Korea because there's a lot of positions in Korea that don't have a lot of teams in Korea that don't have ADCs.
I thought Kramer was gonna go like KT if they didn't get.
It just Prey seems like yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a moment actually.
But Kramer, honestly, I'm a little bit excited for him to get some money because he's not going to be winning on that team.
I guarantee Baoling is going to LGD. They're like, hey, you want $5 million?
Get rid of PYL, man. The dude is assist on that team.
PYL was good at one point.
PYL is a fan favorite, and that's literally the only reason he's on the team right now because he has been useless in the past seasons.
What about remember back when he was God V? He went to Worlds and was Trash V.
I can't believe that was so disappointing. God V,
God V, and now he became Wayless. And is he still on the team? He changed his name.
No, he's gone, man. But he was literally the best in that span of a few a month,
like 3 months.
A few weeks or like a month. He was the best mid laner in the world at that span. And then all of a sudden, he just wasn't able to keep it up. It was above what he was capable of, to be honest.
And then so yeah, we have that, and today some people announced that he was getting offers from other Korean teams. He turned them all down and announces that he might be retiring, but most definitely he will be taking a break from 2019 spring. So, kind of recapping Prey's career, started in Season 2. He's been at World's Finals, World Semifinals a bunch of times. He went to the finals with Azubu Frost when they had Mad Life. God, Prey, could you imagine Prey and Mad Life still as a bot lane? It's crazy. That's crazy back in the day. He went to World's Finals twice, semifinals in Season 3, Season 4? Did he make Season 4? No, he didn't, because he went to Huya Tigers when they were a challenger team. Season 5, World Finals. Season 6, he has one of the best series ever against SKT and makes top 4. And then you have Season 7. They lose to Samsung Galaxy 3-0. We're over here predicting it's going to be a close series. And
with who?
No, you predicted it was going to be 3-0 for Longju. I predicted a Game 5. I predicted 5
it's
games. Because you have 2 Korean teams, and it's like, at the current point in time, it was late game meta, and Samsung's thing was late game, and Longju plays.
Samsung looked terrible in the.
But we know that they play better in best of 5.
No, there's no excuse for how they played in the best of 1s. That's just unexcusable. That's still games.
Prey and Gorilla managed to take Longju to 6-0. They're that couples with the other Korean teams that have went 6-0, being Samsung, White, and SKT. Only 3 Korean teams have ever had 6-0s. 2 of them have won Worlds, and Longju did not. Longju were powering to win Worlds that year, and I was so sad that they didn't because that's why I predicted win Worlds over Samsung. But I did predict Samsung to be top 4. Crazy. And then in 2018, Prey wins another LCK title. He's won, 3 LCK titles? 2 on Longju, or Kingzone, Longju, whatever, and 1 on Rox Tigers. And he obviously had to win another one to be for Azubu Frost.
Rox Tigers.
Yeah,
Rox Tigers never got first place.
Rox Tigers beat KT Roster, remember? In 2016.
Oh, you're talking about when they beat Okay, no, sorry. Yeah, they did actually end up on their final split, huh? Because they never beat SKT. They ended up doing it because
he goes to MSI.
Yeah, because SKT never actually ended up going to the finals. Then.
Yeah, because KT Roster beat them.
Weird. Yeah, KT actually KT should have beat Rox Tigers too. Yes. I'm so upset by that. I'm so upset.
He told me that Smeb stole because I was at home while watching the game, and right when Smeb stole a Baron, I passed out. It was a second before he stole it, I passed out.
Gangplank stole man. What?
Smeb is a godlike player, man. This is when Smeb was power ranked to be better than Faker. What a crazy time we used to live in. And 2018, in spring, after that, after Kingzone wins, they go to MSI. This is kind of where the kinks for him started to show. But arguably, Prey was the second best player at MSI, behind Uzi and Caps. No, if you were going to debate who was better, it's between Caps, Uzi, and Prey were the best players, in my personal opinion. And then they get to the finals against RNG, and then they lose, and they go back to Korea, and they kind of look really, really, really off. So, I mean, I kind of felt like he was going to probably not play the split, or retire because just the way Kingzone were acting towards each other and just the way they were playing. Last split just really didn't scream like, oh, they're all friends again. They want to play together again. So
I don't care about friendship. I think the biggest reason is because Gorilla left him. I don't think this probably hit him in like a mental state or something like that.
Yeah, the support I played with for almost 4 or 5 plus years just left me.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but he obviously he has his own reasons. He's got enough money probably from this. So.
Yeah, he could just stream forever and be a famous.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
I feel bad for him, but people say he didn't win a Worlds. He won what 3 or 4 titles in LCK. Like that's more than what a lot of people are gonna do. Besides like maybe Faker and a couple of other SKT players, but multiple World Final finishes, multiple semi-final finishes. If you're looking at that career just based off what he had, I'm fine with that if I retired. You finished what? Top 4, top 2, and arguably the best years of League. 2015, 2016. You know, those are Worlds that people still consider to be really, really, really good. People have really been kind of mad at the quality of Worlds from 2017 and 2018. But
2018 was fine. 2018 was the year.
2017 was, oh my god.
2017 was terrible.
What a mess.
But I think we made a little bit of a circle, but for the most part, I think that Prey is probably going to retire at this point. He doesn't look like he's...
How do you look at his career? Do you think it's fine to retire all on that note? Multiple LCK finishes, multiple
one of the most
finishes?
He's one of the most iconic players of League history, so I think he's fine.
Yeah.
I think he's made his impact on the League scene, and if he feels like he needs to retire, he has no reason not to.
That's totally fine.
I kind of feel bad that he's retiring on.
I feel bad. He's the player that him and Gorilla should have gotten a world championship.
I remember one of the few things he said, like when he announced his retirement, he said I should have retired when they were still clapping for me, and now I'm gonna be retiring when they're not. That was really. I feel like he
did say that.
He should not retire on a sad note. I'm really sad about that.
I feel like maybe once he clears his head, one split, he might come back.
He might, but I don't think he's gonna come back without a.
Factory doesn't have Gorilla. You know, you're banking on you're banking on a rookie or banking on someone who's not as good as Gorilla, and Gorilla's arguably the second best support behind Mata. So if you're not gonna find the second best support, there's no even the third best support. It's just been a top 2 run between those two.
It has. It's always been those two in the top 2.
So maybe you could make a debate about the other supports that have won World Finals like Wolf. People say Wolf was overrated, so it doesn't really matter at that point.
Wolf was the weakest point of SKT for the longest time in its probably existence, but he's picked it up towards the end of it, and it became an integral part on why they won. So
yeah, it kind of sucks though. Well, at 2017 Worlds, he was playing absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he played fine during the end of his career with SKT. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're going to do a special video, actually, about Worlds 2017 to 18 because there's something I wanted to actually talk about for a moment. But that's pretty much it. Anything else?
What was this video about again? Like, we got kind of side... Was it about
roster?
you?
It was
about worldwide
Rogue's roster. Prey announces retirement.
Okay.
And
all right.
That's pretty much...
That was nice. I don't have anything else to add on to that.
Yeah.
You want to reach forward?
Don't top of video. That's what Prey said.
Don't weeb out my video.